How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Life After Job Corps, the series where I criticalize a series of events in my life after I completed a Job Corps program and entered the work field. And this particular episode is going to be a podcast. Fortunately, I don't have a way to record with my camera at the moment, and simply because of the fact of the subject matter that's going to be discussed in this video, I feel the most appropriate way to go at this would be in the podcast format. So apologies in advance for those of you who may wanted some visual accompaniment to this video. And also apologies in advance if you happen to catch any noise in the background, as I do have a heater on, considering how it's really cold outside at the moment. So, in today's episode of Life After Job Corps, I'm going to be covering what is currently the situation in regards to my job. Now, for those of you who may not know, which I imagine is a good majority of you, because of the nature of this topic, this video is going to be shared around to let people know about my current situation and to just clear the air about some things. So, this whole situation with my job happened back last week, last Friday, as of this recording. So not around, on March the 10th. On March 10th, I already was finished working my shift for the day. I'm doing my leisure time. I'm enjoying my weekend, and I received an email from my employer, basically telling me that I'm to attend this mandatory meeting that they're holding around 4 p.m. Eastern time. Now, for those of you in the work field, I should stress that this is usually not a good sign. I made the mistake of thinking that this was just going to be an average meeting, which, of course, after this phone call, I learned it wasn't. But if you're being called into a meeting at around 4 or 5 p.m. on a Friday, that's usually not a good sign. Just to put some background information to that mythos right there. So after I read the email and it told me to call this number and the meeting ID number to call into this conference call that had me and I'm assuming had to be at least 10 other people on that phone call. Either it was 10 or 15. I couldn't keep track of everybody that was there, but they were people from all around our team, people who worked in my department, people who worked in different departments, but usually doing the same thing. All they work from home, more than likely. They gather us all together, and after they took roll call, they let us know that the reason that they had us all join this call today is to let us know that because of the current trend of the client calls that we've been receiving, that the company has to make some cuts and that they were going to release some people from their employment from Teletech, me being one of those people. So, to explain this to the way that they explained it, we weren't fired, but we were laid off because of the fact that nobody was calling the phone lines as they were expecting them to call. And this time of year, especially with the Nintendo Switch coming out, more and more people, have the common sense to call Nintendo about their issues instead of going directly to the vendor, i.e., Best Buy, about their issues. So we ended up not getting as much phone calls as they expected, and of course, to save cost on paying people for just being on the computer, sitting on their behinds, not doing anything, they figured the easier step would be to just go ahead and release some people from our deals with the company, me being one of them, as I mentioned already. So, when when this bombshell happened, I was at a loss for words. I couldn't really think of anything to say. So of course, there were some people that thanked them for the opportunity to be in the company, and I completely agree with them on that extent. This was my first employer, and they didn't have to hire me. I was completely new to the work field. I didn't have any work experience, and being able to say I was able to get work experience through Teletech is obviously a blessing to me, and I absolutely am thankful for the opportunity that I had and that company and working for them. My only gripe would be in this case the fact that I ended up getting released on Friday. So come around Monday, I try to log into my usual logins, and they told me that my authorization is not authorized. My ID, my passwords, they aren't authorized to work anymore. So I was pretty immediately terminated from this company. My position was terminated, not myself. Excuse me. Originally, I had no intention of telling anybody that I got released, and I wanted to let this video be the moment where I tell everybody what happened, but I knew that wasn't going to be really possible, so I decided I'm going to tell my family members first because they have a right to know what's going on, but everybody else, like friends and associates like that, I decided I'll just leave that for this video to explain. On to where do I go from here? I been looking for a chance to continue looking for a new job because I told myself when I got this job originally that this was going to be a temporary job. This wasn't going to be something that I will be able to sustain myself for the rest of my life with. This was just going to be a temporary job, and I will use the money that I save from this job to work on getting another job or to just work my way into college. And sadly enough, I didn't come close to meeting the expected goal I was hoping to reach to get into college with the money that I saved, but I did save a good amount, so I do have application money. So if I need to file an application with the college, I do have the funds to do that. I am looking at a variety of colleges at the moment. One college that's been really active and back and forth with me has been the Savannah College of Art and Design. Uh, Although I'm a bit cynical about them because they are a private institution, and although they're not for profit, the fact that they're a private college, it just strikes me as being money hungry and are after me for financial gain as much, not as much as me as being a student for them. That's my at least my interpretation. I could be wrong, but that's how I just generally see private institutions. That's my bias against them. I am also, of course, looking for another job to I can have a way to sustain myself financially. I've been putting in applications left and right to other fields of customer service, representative jobs that I can find. Two companies been getting back to me through email. Although I'm not so fond of the idea of selling life insurance, if the pay is good, I might consider it. I've also tried to apply for the competitor, in this case Amazon, to see if I could get an opportunity to work for them. And unfortunately, they mailed me back and said that they were interested. So uh, I saw opportunity, I tried, didn't get this one, I'll go for the next one. I'm very optimistic about my chances, considering how before Job Corps and before I was almost done with high school, I was just going in to workforce with no experience whatsoever besides volunteer work and just hoping somebody would give me a chance. And the fact that Toltec did give me that chance is the reason why I won't go out my way to badmouth them. Even though I throw shade at this company multiple times through social media, and you probably see in my tweets if you don't follow me on Twitter, I've talked my fair shade of displeasure of working through the holiday rush of things and how they were really demanding around that time of year. But at the end of the day, it was a job that I was appreciative to have because not everybody gets the opportunity to earn money from working at home, at least not legally anyway. And for that purpose alone, I am always going to be thankful for my opportunity for working with Teletech through this whole time, through this whole ordeal. And also, with this opportunity, it's also in a way a blessing if I think about it. If you're not religious, then I guess you could say this is luck in a way, because of the fact that how things happen to line up the way they did, and my purchases online happened to already been paid off the time my employment was terminated with Teletech. It's kind of I'm kind of glad it happened then and not after the words. And then I have all these purchases that I have to rush to try to get canceled so I can have my money back. And also, I believe I should go ahead and clear this up in this podcast now before this starts to get rumored. And God forbid I start any rumors on my own channel. But when it comes to funding on my channel, the money that I've earned through ad revenue through my videos will stay the same. I'm not going to start stretching out videos to add even more ads than needed. Okay, that's just absurd, to be frank. And a lot of people I know, a lot of people who use YouTube a lot, use AdBlock anyway, so putting all those ads would be pointless. I don't put ads on my video unless they hit over 100 views or more. And if it's anything like this video, which is over the 10-minute mark at this recording, I'm not going to be putting ads on this simply for the fact that it's a update on what's going on behind the scenes of the video and not exactly the channel itself. So it's not really fair for me to go and make a profit, or at least try to make a profit from a video like this where it's not even content, it's just me blabbering away on my microphone. I'm not going to start doing a Patreon. I'm not going to start asking for donations only because of the fact that I feel that the content I make on YouTube isn't donate worthy. What I do is what could be considered vlogging to a degree. It's not something that I expect to be paid for. It's not something that I believe I should ask people to pay me to do, because anybody can do what I do, and people have for years before I've been doing this channel, and people are still going to be doing this after this channel is long dead. It's not something I expect to be paid for, so it won't be fair for me to start asking for donations now when the whole purpose of this channel was to put free information about Job Corps to the public domain. So I'm not going to change it up now just because my financial stability became a little unstable. Okay. If you feel generous and you want to donate to anybody, then I recommend donating to StoneD. This is a YouTuber, a black YouTuber like myself, who actually makes really funny content and really good content, and I highly recommend you donate to him, as he is currently asking for money to better improve his content for his viewers. If you've never seen him before, I'll put a link to his channel in the description. I moderate on his live streams, and I love his guy's work. This guy is a really, really awesome YouTuber. Highly recommend him to those of you who just want to watch YouTube for the funny stuff and not just like Job Corps related content like mine. So, in a conclusion, I have to say that because of this new opening in my life, it has opened up more opportunities for me to continue to make videos on a more constant basis. Although I'm not going to make YouTube my life because that's just not financially sustainable for me at this point. But I will be making more videos, kinda, if I have the opportunity to, because at this point I've been replacing the energy I would working with applying for more jobs. So if that doesn't get in the way of that, I'll definitely upload more. Um, Again, the whole reason behind me making this video was just so I can kill multiple birds with one stone. So to stop people from asking me, what happened to your job? Did you get fired? Did you quit? No, I got laid off, okay? And contrary to what you may have heard, being laid off and being fired are completely different things, okay? Being fired is when your performance as an individual hasn't been up to par, and the company believes it would be better for you to be no longer be associated with the company. Being laid off is when performance as a company as a whole has been consistent, but the demand for what the company's been giving out hasn't been high. So they had to cut off some of the supply they have, in this case, the supply of workers they have, to meet the small demand that's currently being given to them. In case anyone wondering, the first person who I've initially told this whole situation to first was, believe it or not, my sister. I told it to her first, and then I worked my way up from there, then to my mom, to my grandma, to my dad. And now I'm telling everybody at this point because I just feel this is what needs to be done. I need to go ahead and address the obvious now so I don't have to worry about this popping back on me later. It'll give me a better peace of mind for the future and to clear my head off of worrying about having to explain what happened to anybody else. So, thank you all for those of you who watched this entire video through. I thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you all for, of course, watching these videos, and if this is your first time to this channel, hello, hi, Trey. This is Job Corps 411. I talk about Job Corps related stuff, and I think it's a bit late in the video to start introduction, isn't it? Again, thank you all for watching and sharing the videos and commenting and liking all that standard stuff. Hope to see you guys whenever I make my next video, and peace out.